the work that you do is essential, helping folks craft their narrative and their story, but they also need a platform and a space to incubate and market test. And so I was doing some consulting work for Harley Davidson for about 3.5 years and found myself in places like Miami and Denver and New York and LA. And certainly, those aren't Youngstown, Ohio, but we have our own thing as well. And so I would come home from that travel and see that we do have arts and entertainment, healthy culture here of creatives. And they just needed a platform. So I just went on the hunt for maybe the closest thing to what I had in my mind. And I found it in Cleveland. I found it in Akron, Canton, Pittsburgh. They had their own markets. And I would just come home and say, there's got to be a way, there's got to be someone who will bring this market incubator space to the community. And by the time you filter it all down, you're left with you.
Yeah,
You're the person,
oftentimes.
yeah, on the list. You scratch this name off and that name, and you're like, oh, it seems I'm up next. And so, with a ton of enthusiasm, I had imagined the first Flea back in 2016 as sort of a Broadway play performance where we would pull back the curtains on our area's creatives. And so it had to be a central stage, downtown Youngstown. I knew I wanted that. I knew it had to be something worth getting Steve up off of his couch, right?
Sure.
What a wonderful couch there. Looks like something that belongs at the Flea,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you bet it
Uh,
does.
I was inviting everybody, audiophiles with the vinyl records and folks who were vintage trunks and cases and, clothing, anybody. And so interesting story on the first Flea, I'll tell you, is I got everything set up for this Broadway play in my mind. And I said, I need to run home and take a shower really quick. And so I dodged out. I tried to get back and my wife's calling me and I'm like, ignore the first ring like us husbands do. But she hung up, called back, and I'm like, hey, honey, what's up? I'm on my way back to the market. Is everything okay? She says, no, you have to hurry up and get back here. And I'm like, well, I'm trying my best, but I'm stuck in traffic. I must be in an accident or something. And she says, no, dummy. That's all the people trying to get into the Flea. It's backed up Market Street. It's backed up South Avenue. All of downtown is in chaos.
It's
I
awesome.
said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back to my own market.
That's awesome. What a great story.